Today's news. Today's news.
Former President Donald Trump indicted, citing 3 different federal statutes, facing charges over the documents case.
The arraignment is Tuesday afternoon at the federal courthouse in Miami.
Trump insists he did nothing wrong.
I'm an innocent man. We will prove that again.
Good morning, I'm Vicki Barker with the CBS World News Roundup. Donald Trump indicted on federal charges over those classified documents found at his Florida residence.
CBS News confirms it's a 7-count indictment, charging the former president with unlawfully retaining documents related to the national defense and obstructing efforts to investigate how he handled those papers. The indictment is the culmination of a year-long Justice Department effort that had the FBI seizing 100 classified documents from Mar-a-Lago last August after Trump attorneys insisted he had no more in his possession.
CBS White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy. CBS's Catherine Herridge has more.
I'm an innocent man. I did nothing wrong.
Within minutes of announcing his own indictment on social media, former President Donald Trump declared his innocence and blamed Democrats for the special counsel's move.
They figured the way they're going to stop us is by using what's called warfare. And that's what it is. This is warfare for the law.
Trump's attorney says the 7 counts include unlawful retention of national defense information, obstruction, conspiracy, and false statements. The criminal charges grew out of a nearly year-long probe into Trump's handling of hundreds of documents marked classified. 300 records, including some marked top secret, have been recovered.
Everything I did was right.
Throughout the investigation, the former president has maintained that he did nothing wrong.
The Presidential Records Act is not criminal. I took the documents I'm allowed to.
Trump also took aim at the Biden administration, accusing it of weaponizing the Justice Department. Before news of the indictment broke, Mr. Biden insisted the department acts independently.
I have never once, not one single time, suggested to the Justice Department what they should do or not do, or else bring in charge or not bring in charge.
Trump will be arraigned Tuesday at the federal courthouse in Miami. CBS's Scott MacFarlane on what happens then.
In the Southern District of Florida, they refer to the assignment of cases to blind random selection, which is true for other federal courts in America as well. They will truly pick a name out of a computer-generated system to assign the district court judge for this case. Now, he may appear before a magistrate judge, a lower-level judge who handles just initial proceedings Tuesday, but ultimately this case moves to a federal court judge, a district court judge, some of whom in Florida, some of whom in Miami, have been appointed by then-President Trump.
Trump insists the charges are without foundation, but CBS's Robert Costa reports they could prove to be the former president's most serious legal threat yet.
Speaking last night and this morning to former federal prosecutors who know Jack Smith, the special counsel, they say he would not bring these series of charges unless he felt that he could win this case, that this is something that is serious and grave when it deals with national security matters. It's not only about alleged obstruction of a federal investigation and the attempt to secure these documents. It's also about having these materials and potentially having criminal intent to try to take them from the White House to his Florida home.
CBS legal analyst Ricky Kleeman says there's a reason Trump will be arraigned in Florida.
I think it was a very smart strategic move on the part of the special prosecutor. It takes away one line of defense and a motion to dismiss from the defense, because the defense was easily able to say everything happened at Mar-a-Lago, everything. So the venue should be in southern Florida. And if you made, Mr. Prosecutor, the venue in Washington, D.C., then the only reason you were doing that was to get a more favorable jury.
On Capitol Hill,
Congressional reaction split along party lines over former President Trump's indictment. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy called it a dark day for the U.S. and vowed to hold what he called this brazen weaponization of power accountable. Senate GOP leaders did not immediately weigh in, although several of the former president's allies said the announcement reflects a two-tiered system of justice. Democratic Congressman Jamie Raskin called Republicans' rhetoric dangerous and said no one is above the command of law. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Washington.
From Paris, CBS's Elaine Cobb on overseas reaction.
Britain's Daily Mail noted that President Trump faces 100 years in jail if convicted of federal charges. Al Jazeera TV declared President Trump is doomed, finally. The Indian Express offered live updates of federal agents headed to Miami for their investigation.